yeah, name change. I'm going through stuff with that. I need to pick a name right now because I need to go to my human resources department at work and tell them this is the name that I need on everything, because I've got my birth name on everything, on like, you know, my computer, my login, my email, everything. And that's not going to be okay when my voice drops and I'm passing as male on the phones when I start working. So I'm taking this as an opportunity to actually do a full name change, because I don't like the name Jess. I like... Well, I don't like it because it's attached to my birth name, and there's like this... I've been misgendered and called this name so many times that it's like hard for me to take the female pronoun and detach it from that name. And it's just really reminiscent to me of all of that kind of stuff. So I want a whole new name, and I also want a name that is, I think, totally male. Like, I don't really want the gender neutral thing. That's where I'm leaning at this point. So, and I think that that's because I'm just done with the sort of like ambiguity as far as being read something, you know? Like, I at this point, my main motivation is to be read, you know, if anything is male, and certainly 100% of the time as masculine, or a masculine being. And beyond that, my genderqueer identity, it's like two separate categories. Like, I feel like I need to be passing and read as male, and like my body needs to be received as male, and when that happens, I feel good. My genderqueer identity is in no way threatened or, you know, I don't know, by that. It's its own sort of thing. It's like, I'm genderqueer, but I have all this dysphoria about being read female. Like, I don't need to be in this ambiguous gendered ground and to be read genderqueer, you know, in order to be genderqueer. So, yeah, and so I feel like having a male name will work to that end, and work to people kind of understanding that. So, that being said, I'm really scared about picking a name and instigating the name change at work, and like, lots of people there know me. So I'm worried about navigating that, and like being just kind of, I guess I'm worried about being like the out trans kid in a place of like, I don't know, 200 coworkers, you know? Like, people are gonna talk about me, people are gonna look at me, people, you know, like, because I'm just gonna have to be so out. And I'm not opposed to being out. It was never my intention to be like, to be stealth, really. I just kind of wanted to pass, I guess, because that's so new. But I mean, that's gonna be a big process, and it's gonna take a lot, and I'm gonna have to do a lot of explaining to people, and it's just kind of like an exhausting seeming thing. But I'm just complaining here. It's gonna be okay, hopefully, and hopefully the conversation with HR goes alright. But that being said, I do need a name, and I can't make up my mind. Like, I was watching, whose video was I watching? I was watching Mr. Sid's video, I believe, talking about their name change, his name change, and I laughed because he was like, you know, I'm a total dork, and I've got a Word file with a list of names in it, and I have the same thing, but I mean, as far as like names that I'm even considering, like, I'll have like brief infatuations with different names, and then the honeymoon will be over, and I'll be like, oh, I couldn't go by that for the rest of my life. It's just like, it's ridiculous. And I'm working with one of my close friends, Mason, who's in one of my videos, and he's 3 years on testosterone, and he's well along in his transition. And he was just like, you know, you just need a deadline. Just do it. Just say Monday, pick a name by then. So, I don't know. I mean, a couple of the names that I've been batting around lately have been names like Nathaniel. I really like Nate. I really like simple, single-syllable names. because I think I've gone by Jess for so long. I really want something that follows that one syllable sort of thing. So Nathaniel, shortening it down to Nate. I like both of those variations of that name. I don't know. There's a lot of Nathaniels around though, but there's a lot of Jesses around. I almost feel an affinity to the name because of that as well. I also really like the name Finn, but that's more gender neutral, and that's kind of what's leading me away from that. I was also briefly considering like John, you know, just like a strong, solid, single syllable classic name. But I don't know about pulling off John. Anyways. And then I had what I was thinking Silas for the longest time. I really like the name Silas, even though it doesn't shorten down to the single syllable thing. But I don't know, all my friends around me were like totally making fun of me for that. Well, not making fun of me, but definitely there was a lot of like, oh, Silas? That sounds like a silo. Or that sounds like something from a fantasy novel, and like I was getting that a lot. I was like, are you serious? Oh my god, like, come on guys. And so it actually, you know, to truth be told, it kind of scared me away from the name. Like, I don't know, I'm too influenced, I think, by what other people think. I mean, I'm gonna have to live with this name forever. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm just going to do a lot of soul searching and come out with something, hopefully, and this video is getting really long, so I've probably broken it up into 2 parts. But, yeah, I was also thinking about letting my parents help me out with choosing the name, and by parents I mean mom, because I'm not up to my dad yet. I'm really scared that he's going to be like, have you always sounded this way? Have you always looked this way? You know, like every time I see him. But he's been pretty cool. I don't know, he doesn't seem too confused. I'm getting my mom to help me, but at the same time, I mean, the names that she picked for my brother and I, like, I don't know. I don't know if I trust her to name me, to be honest, like, but, I mean, at the same time, like, we didn't get to pick our first names, right? So, whatever she picked, I could probably pretty much go with it. Yeah, so, I don't know. Another thing with the name Nate, it rhymes with my last name. Like, my last name is, like, 8. You know, like, there's a letter and then, anyway, so it's like, I can't be that guy with the rhyming name when I've picked my own name. I don't know. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. 3 months on testosterone. Woo. Yeah. I don't know. I'll check in whenever I think of a new topic, or probably my next, like, I don't know, check in at 3.5 months maybe. And I hope everyone's doing okay. And yeah, take care.